And you'll notice that as Dylan has become more popular as a trans person, Dylan has more and more and more and more started to take on the persona of Audrey Hepburn.
40 of being a girl, and I'm living my Audrey Hepburn fantasy. Introducing Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh my god.
Dill.
I might have to cut that audio. That'd be copyright.
That's weird.
So Vikki and I decided that we wanted to do this video because somebody sent it to me and I thought it was actually, and then I sent it, I think I texted it to you, right? And then you were like, oh my God.
You did.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
Actually, so I know this woman, and I'll put the link to the video in the description so you can support her channel because I really like her, and I was supposed to be in her channel, but something happened. But anyway, I just think she's an awesome lady, and she really did her research. I mean, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
spot on. Great video.
It's actually crazy. She really. So this is a Dylan Mulvaney. As you know, I don't particularly like that person, and I think they've done a lot of damage to the trans space. And so you know, I don't want. I'm not sure if I'm making fun. I guess I kind of am, but at the same time, I also want to call these people out. And this video calls this person out big time. Wow, just wow. So
yeah, totally. Yep.
Yep. So before that, thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. I love all of it. Thanks for supporting the channel. It really helps a lot. It's growing tremendously. And also, I'll put a link to Vikki's channel. Please support her and her work as well, because, you know, her voice is very important in this fight. Together, we're all built this community, and we just support each other. It's hard work, you know, to make these videos. So
it's exhausting sometimes, to be honest.
so exhausting.
It's
really a full-time job. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just get right into this because I'm super excited to react to this with you. Okay.
Is it an addiction or a career? That is the question.
New York girls don't wear bras. If you run into me on the street, say hi. I'll have a tampon for you.
I am mentally ill, that I'm a predator. It actually might help you do your job better just to see how unwell I am in these videos. La, 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 la. Why can't Dylan just be a feminine man? And why can't, you know, some women be masculine women? I'm I'm the first one to believe anything. I'm the first one to join a cult. Like, if somebody's jumping off a cliff, I'm going with them. I'm the first one to join a cult.
Hello, everyone. If you are a new viewer, welcome to my channel. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. On my channel, I do deep dives, I do social commentary.
No, she's actually really cool. You know, I have to say that she has a great perspective on things, and she doesn't like the BS. She's not transphobic because I have had a conversation with her. So she's not. Yeah. She's just like every other woman, tired of being told they're not a woman and that Dylan Mulvaney is a woman. And and she really exposes the grift, right? Like, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
She sees past all the BS for sure. Yeah, you can tell just by the way she put this together.
She is direct. So
I talk about trending topics. I talk about politics on occasion. And in this specific video, I want to talk about Dylan Mulvaney again. I was actually doing research for an entirely different video where I was going to be discussing the Bud Light controversy. And as I was scrolling through Dylan's Instagram page, I actually noticed a pattern of behavior. And I had an epiphany. Well, in a previous video that I did a few months ago, I discussed why I don't believe that Dylan Mulvaney is actually trans and is simply a fame whore who is exploiting the trans identity for fame and fortune. And this video is further building upon that hypothesis. I do very much believe that Dylan Mulvaney is a fame chaser. Just look at this Instagram post from 2012 or Dylan's appearance on The Price is Right.
You got it! Dylan's a winner! Dylan's a winner! Dylan, nice job, man.
So what exactly is it that I discovered?
Booby drum roll.
Dylan Mulvaney is obsessed with fame, and more specifically, obsessed with Audrey Hepburn. Now, of course,
that's
it.
Boom.
I mean, boom.
It gets deep. But first off, I just want to say a couple things here. I think she really did do her homework, and I think what you're going to expose here is phenomenal. And I think we all know this is true. We all know that, I'm going to say sorry, but he's a fame whore, and that I never thought he was trans. I guess in the definition of the new trans, he could be trans because anybody can be trans, right? I don't think he's transsexual.
The new definition of trans means that anybody can be because they said they are, and which
That's
is
right.
Completely false narrative. But yeah,
that's right. And then she's gonna prove to you, like, it's actually mind blowing.
You're probably thinking, no shit, Sherlock. Like, anyone who has any knowledge of who Dylan Mulvaney is, they know that when Dylan Mulvaney did their face reveal, they styled their video in the style of Audrey Hepburn. They dressed like Audrey Hepburn. They dressed like Audrey Hepburn to the Grammys. This is nothing new.
I just felt like a princess. It feels very like 2023 Audrey Hepburn.
But I don't think this is as simple as a trans person who is paying homage to Audrey Hepburn. It's much deeper than that. I actually think that Dylan is trying to be Audrey Hepburn. I don't think that Dylan Mulvaney transitioned because they wanted to become a woman. I think Dylan Mulvaney transitioned because Dylan Mulvaney wants to be Audrey Hepburn. And to prove my point, I have evidence of Dylan's obsessive behavior when it comes to Audrey Hepburn. Number one, Dylan's Instagram posts prior to transition and prior to fame. So on February 12th, Dylan shared a photo to Instagram with his feet standing on the Hollywood Walk of Fame over Audrey Hepburn's star. In May of 2013, he posted this photoshopped image comparing himself to Audrey Hepburn.
Oh my God.
In September of 23, a teenage Dylan posts a picture, presumably in his room, and in the back you can clearly see there is a poster of Audrey Hepburn.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, this is like the third time I've watched this, and it always blows my mind because she's so, it kind of makes me sad for this person because, they've done some medical stuff to themselves, supposedly. I think they have. Their nose looks different, right? And I think,
I think they did something with their hairline. I think they had facial feminization surgery, I believe.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
their nose, they changed their nose. Yeah. No, I think that Dylan Mulvaney is, besides he's chasing fame and wants to be famous and this was his ticket for it, I think he's kind of actually self-hating. Like, and I hate using that. I hate saying that
It's a real thing.
Because you and I get accused of it all the time, right? We're transphobic, homophobic, self-hating people because, the left likes to just throw stuff at you and whatever sticks, But in this actual case, I feel like he was ashamed of being gay or something. I sense something. I don't sense AGP. I obviously don't see gender dysphoria. There's, if it's not gender dysphoria, there's only so many things it can be, right? Yeah. So, and I don't see AGP, so there's something else going on there, and they clung on to the trans thing. And it's layered, I think. I think it's a layered problem.
It's layered. Also, they are like super feminine. They seems like they've always been that way as a male. And then I think that whole days of girlhood was all just like a funny thing they were doing just to make a joke as a feminine gay man, and like a lot of people think that he just got swept up in it, and then that's how he started getting, and then probably some trans people got connected to him and then just started talking him into that, I think you're trans, because that's what happens a lot in the trans community. They indoctrinate you to think, they literally like try to pull you into it, which is so weird to me.
Don't they call it like cracking the egg or some weird thing?
Yes, they have terminology. Cult-like. And they also have a thing called the dolls, which are the ones that are like Tori used to be part of. The dolls are like the hyper feminine, like how they are now, how Dylan is like super hyper female. But I think you're right. It's not he seems very asexual to me. He doesn't seem sexual at all. It doesn't seem like it's about, him being a woman attracted to men or women. It feels very much like what this lady, Nisi, I think her name is going to point out here. It gets pretty deep.
August 2013, Dylan shares a photo of himself watching Breakfast at Tiffany's, an iconic movie that stars Audrey Hepburn.
Wow.
And you'll notice that as Dylan has become more popular as a trans person, Dylan has more and more started to take on the persona of Audrey Hepburn.
40 of being a girl, and I'm living my Audrey Hepburn fantasy. Introducing Dylan Mulvaney.
Oh my God.
Dill.
I might have to cut that audio. Might be copyright.
That's weird.
Even some of the most inconspicuous photos of Audrey Hepburn, Dylan managed to replicate.
That's actually really twisted.
Yeah.
That's so twisted. Yeah, I see an obsession with it. Yeah. Oh, gross. Yeah, it's true. Always wearing those very kind of outfits, which I thought were like Jackie O, but I guess it's Audrey Hepburn. I don't know, but he's always in those specific style of clothing. You notice that?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Always.
Oh yeah, no, I see the parallels in this. It's
so mind blowing.
I just can't believe that like so many people fell for this in the beginning too. Like everybody, remember like how everyone was like behind this and was like, yeah. And it's like, how did you not see that there's something deeply wrong? Like you don't have to be like, you know, a psychiatrist to figure this out.
Right.
That there's something not right.
That's right. I don't get it either. But people are too scared to say anything because they'll get called names. Yeah. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
And so this brings me to the second reason why I don't think Dylan simply transitioned to be a woman. He's transitioned to be Audrey Hepburn.
Wow.
And the second reason is because if you look at the surgery that Dylan had surgery to look like Audrey Hepburn.
What she had done.
I had a hairline advancement, a brow bone shave, a rhinoplasty, minor cheek enhancement, a little lip lift, a jaw shave, a chin reduction, and a tracheal shave. Oh my! That was a mouthful.
Take a look at Dylan's nose. This is what Dylan's nose looked like before the surgery. This is what Dylan's nose looks like now.
Oh God, you're right.
Now look at Audrey Hepburn. Can you see the similarities in the noses?
Oh my God.
And if you look at Dylan's eyebrows, I never understood this. Whenever I see videos of Dylan, like Dylan looks like this. Like,
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes. What the hell is even that?
I can't even do it. Like the eyebrows are so lifted, it looks weird. And I thought, what?
I love when ladies chew up like ladies, right? Because girls are kind of like that with each other when it comes to makeup and.
Oh my God.
Like totally like the eyebrows. I would have never noticed that, but of course the woman's gonna notice the eyebrows. I just find Dylan to be actually not very pretty. I just don't think so. It looks like something.
Well, it's very
fake.
You want to know why? You probably don't. Well, you said fake. I was going to say performative.
Yes.
When somebody is overly performative like that,
yes,
it gives the ick factor.
Mm-hmm.
But then also you're like, you just can't take them seriously. Like I never was able to take Dylan Mulvaney seriously because I knew that this was about money and this was about fame. And now we know it's about Audrey Hepburn too. And
now the whole thing is so creepy, and also it's about money and fame, and also sometimes when people get too far into a grift. There's a name for it, cost sunk fallacy, I think, where you dump too much into it, you can't pull out of it. Yeah. And I think on some level that's kind of maybe where Dylan is at, because this is not going to end good. I'm telling you right now, this whole Dylan Mulvaney thing is not going to end good. There's no way it is.
No. And it's incredible how like the big celebrities and stuff are protecting him too.
Well,
like
no, because
the
it's all
Lady
same thing.
Gagas and the
Totally.
Kathy Griffins and the
Totally.
Rosie O'Donnell. Like,
I
why?
hate Rosie. Well, because
She's a pain in the
it's
ass.
all intertwined. It's all, when you're in that space, it's all intertwined. They have to. They don't have a choice. They can't say anything bad about it, or they won't get any. They can't. They have to. So, and also they're part of the grift.
Somebody do that. Like, that's not facial feminization. That's just a brow lift. Like, women don't have eyebrows like that. Like, yes, there are women who do have eyebrows like that, but that's not a feminine feature. I don't think
Right.
Dylan needed to change their eyebrows to look more feminine. I think there was other things, yes. They look like a man. But not the eyebrows. But when you look at it, the eyebrows were done to look like Audrey Hepburn's eyebrows,
Wow.
not just like a woman's eyebrows.
Yeah.
Specifically like
Yeah.
Audrey Hepburn's
Makes
eyebrows.
sense.
Dylan is obsessed. And I think there are people who think that Dylan Mulvaney is just paying homage to Audrey Hepburn, is just paying homage to fashion from that era. And yes and no. Yes, that's what Dylan's doing, but more specifically, Dylan has shown that he is obsessed with Audrey Hepburn and has been obsessed with Audrey Hepburn for the last 10 years. Normally, if you saw someone who was so obsessed with a celebrity that they had surgery to look like them, you would think that that person was not of sound mind. However, Dylan is being celebrated for that and a lot of other questionable behavior.
Yeah.
I'm not a psychologist. No shit, Sherlock. Okay. And neither is ChatGPT. But I went onto ChatGPT and I typed in this question. This is what I asked ChatGPT. I said, is it a psychological disorder if someone is obsessed with embodying a specific celebrity? And this was the answer that ChatGPT gave me.
You serious?
Yes. An obsession with embodying a specific celebrity may be a symptom of a psychological disorder.
Oh, bam. She totally nailed it right
Yes.
there. Clearly, there's some psychological stuff going on. There is no doubt about it. You don't just start Girls of Dayhood this person transitioned in the internet. I don't think they went to, from what I know about Dylan, I don't follow them. I don't really, but it just feels like they just transitioned on the internet. I don't feel like they this is a personal thing. I keep saying that to everybody. Yeah. This idea that you could just transition on the internet and show 35 days of being a girl. So you're transitioning to a girl? No, you're actually transitioning to Audrey Hepburn.
Well, and he always used the term girl instead of woman too, which also was very odd to me that it was almost childlike, which normally that would creep me out. But in his case, I don't know why I don't feel threatened by Dylan Mulvaney at all, but there's something else going on here. They're very, totally. They're a mess. I think they're actually, Dylan's a mess.
It's sad. I think, I am 100% on board. And I think, now she's pointing a lot of psychological stuff out that really connect the dots of what's literally going on here.
Behavior is called celebrity worship syndrome or pathological celebrity worship, which is a condition in which a person becomes fixated on a celebrity to the point that it interferes with their daily life and relationships.
It's a real thing.
Individuals with celebrity worship syndrome may feel a strong desire to emulate the celebrity's appearance, mannerisms, and behaviors. They may spend a significant amount of time and resources trying to achieve this, such as by undergoing plastic surgery or imitating the celebrity's speech and gestures. In extreme cases, celebrity worship syndrome may be a symptom of a larger mental health condition, such as borderline personality disorder or obsessive-compulsive disorder. These conditions can cause a person to have an unstable sense of self and engage in compulsive or obsessive behaviors. If a person's obsession with embodying a specific celebrity is causing distress or interfering with their daily life, they may benefit from seeking the advice of a mental health professional.
Wait. Oh my God, I just have to say, I know I'm laughing because mental health stuff isn't funny, but that's funny because I have to tell you though, a lot of the detransitioners that I have spoken to, they all were diagnosed with BPD. What is that? Borderline personality disorder.
Borderline personality disorder. Yeah.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense, actually, in the psychology space, that's really what's going on. And this is why we need gatekeeping in the trans community. This is why we need to go back to really assessing somebody's mental health before proceeding with a transition. It's ridiculous.
It's so sad, actually.
All it's doing is hurting people and making all transsexuals look absolutely crazy. You know,
well, not
it's
only
awful.
that, when Dylan finally stops becoming famous, because that's going to happen one day, all of that's going to go away. It's going to really. This person's really just living off of the energy of the fame. And we know that when people are famous and then all of a sudden they're not, they go down a spiral. And there's just no doubt that something not good is going to be the outcome of this.
I hope he's investing his money well. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, he's making a lot of money. For sure he's making a lot of money. It's disgusting off of the grift.
Terrible.
Stop it. Get some help.
Do with that information what you will, but it does seem like Dylan has something going on.
Yeah.
Well, you might say that if Dylan has transitioned to look like Audrey Hepburn, doesn't that mean that Dylan is therefore trans and therefore has gender dysphoria if he is obsessed with Audrey Hepburn? And I will say no, those are two separate things. Someone who is experiencing gender dysphoria, sincerely gender dysphoria, will have anxiety about their biological characteristics. For example, a male who is experiencing gender dysphoria will literally have anxiety about their male parts, for example, their penis, and will not feel comfortable, accentuating or showcasing their male genitalia. However, time and time again, we've seen that Dylan has no problem doing this.
I have some options here. Number one, you can stop wearing clothes that fit like this. Number two, I can do a tuck, which is going to have to be a whole other video, but it's very painful and involved. Or number three, I just normalize it.
Normalize the
Dylan
bulge.
also has no problem posting videos to social media with a 5 o'clock shadow. And quite honestly, I think Dylan does that on purpose because those videos get more clicks and views, which makes Dylan more money.
That's right. She's so right on. And, I want to just say something about the genital thing. So, as you know, I don't have bottom surgery, and I always have been kind of outspoken about that. And because you got to remember also being trans male and being trans female are two different things. The surgery for trans men going from a vagina to a penis is insane. It is nowhere near the same. I'm full on against it. I know that there's guys out there who get it. It's 100% your prerogative. But in my experience and knowing guys who did it, who wish they never did it, and I function perfectly fine this way. But again, some people's dysphoria is down there. My dysphoria was more my chest and just sort of getting over it. And also I had to sort of learn how to walk the world with the vagina because I was not going to put myself at that space. But that being said, so some people can have really bad dysphoria around their genitals and some not. But I agree with her on it. Just feels very the whole Dylan package feels very not, because he's literally walking around with a beard and his penis, and it's not sort of navigating the space in a way that looks even to myself that somebody who is a trans woman would navigate with dysphoria.
Well, and it started this whole thing that women can have penises.
That's
I
right.
swear it was after that
That's
it was
right.
oh no, women can have bulge, because he said it, and it spread all over the place.
That used to just stay in the space, just so you know.
Right.
That was always in a adult space. It was always sexualized. I did that, to be honest, but it was always in a sexualized space. And also when I talked about my vagina, I did it because men, we didn't have an option for surgery. And I just want to say that I was trying to, on some level, help guys move through that bottom dysphoria without going into getting a $300,000 surgery that you will regret probably for the rest of your life. Not to say that, I don't know anything about men becoming women, but as far as I know in my own experience with it, that surgery is a lot easier, it's a lot less expensive, and it has way less problems attached to it. Yeah, so again, that's why we need to have the conversation from trans man and trans women are completely opposite, right? We're not the same, and our dysphorias could be completely different.
Because men and women are different.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. It's as simple as that.
But he's literally looking like he's just talking about his every male trait there is, right? And you're right. To me, not so much the penis, but that 5 o'clock shadow. Every trans woman I know who's an actual real transsexual would never go out in public showing their beard.
In anybody that with everybody that I've met too, absolutely not. No,
absolutely
no.
not. Nope, ain't gonna happen. No. So that to me, that was always like a big dead giveaway.
Yeah,
more money, more clicks.
So no, I don't think that Dylan is truly trans, or that impersonating Audrey Hepburn therefore means that he has some kind of dysphoria. Being obsessed with a celebrity is just that. Being obsessed with a celebrity.
Yeah, totally.
And it has nothing to do with dysphoria. It is simply an idolization of a famous person. It just so happens that the individual that Dylan Mulvaney is obsessed with is a female, and so he is essentially cross-dressing as Audrey Hepburn. And then even went so far as to have cosmetic surgery to look like Audrey Hepburn. I personally don't think that Dylan Mulvaney has ever had gender dysphoria. Maybe a personality disorder, maybe borderline personality disorder. I'm no doctor. I do not know. I'm speculating. But what do you guys think about what I've said in this video?
Yeah, she's great. I really just like
she's
everything
really good.
She said. She pinpointed something that I was always like, there's just something. And that's what it is. He has, what did she call it? Was fame. No,
it was like it had a diagnosis, like a celebrity something obsession. I can't remember what she said.
Yeah. Wow. It makes so sense.
Yeah. And like I said, I think it's layered with him. I think he never could accept his being homosexual. That wasn't working for him. Right.
Yes.
So when you saw him on The Price is Right, and when you saw him, wherever, did he do Ellen too? I think he appeared on Ellen once.
Probably. He's been on everything. The View.
And this was back before he was trans or whatever he is. And I don't think it was working for him. Like he would.
Sure.
My understanding of it is that when you're in like you're trying to get in Hollywood or whatever, you'll take any gig, you'll take anything. Yeah. So that's why he was, he was sitting in, in the audience at Ellen, he was here, there, everywhere. But it wasn't working for him. So he moved into the TikTok space where he did all those stupid videos. That stuck for some reason. And then it just so happened that the trans thing was exploding at that time.
Yep.
And everybody he globbed onto that, globbed onto the whole, idea of being a woman, which was like, the thing with the tampons. Oh my God. I want to say to him, listen, I've been doing this since I was 10. Okay. I don't need you to give me a tampon or a pad. I don't need Dylan Mulvaney for that. Like, what the frick?
Also, it's just gross and massage. Yeah. I mean, come on. I am a biological female. I don't carry tampons with me in case Rachel needs a tampon. That's not my problem. Like, also, it's a very personal thing for a woman, right? You don't go around asking. I mean, I guess you have maybe asked, you got a tampon, like all secret, like, but it's not
like
something.
In an emergency, but that doesn't happen all the time. That's just not a thing.
No, it's a personal thing.
Yeah. When you're going to get your cycle. You know when that's coming up. You know how to prepare for it. Yeah. Women aren't stupid. Like, I mean, that's the whole thing is he embodies this whole thing of like that women are dumb or something. He has this dumb, girl persona. And I can see how it's very insulting to the average woman who watches this stuff. And she's like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, I mean, it is. It's not, you're making fun of women. You're literally making fun of women and making money off it. And no, he was at the right place at the right time. It's totally that. It 100%. And he got talked into it. And then he took that character and he just kept going with that character. I mean, I'm telling you, it's not going to end well. It's not.
But how does he sleep at night like that, though? Like, I just can't imagine the energy you have to put into that day after day to be so performative and fake. Like, how do you do that?
Because he has BPD. What is it?
Borderline. Yeah.
Because they can separate. They know how to separate from reality and that. And you can actually create this thing and talk yourself And also remember, he's a theater major, and he's
Yeah.
always been into theater and acting. And you can just see the history that she even showed us, that all of it is an act. The whole thing is an act. And what's going to happen when it's the final call? When the curtain falls.
I don't know. Ugh.
Well, thanks, Vikki, for having for coming on and doing that. I love hanging out with you. And
Yeah, definitely.
I'll put your stuff
always
all
so
in
much
the
fun.
stuff here, and everyone can follow you and support you. And so that's it, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you leave comments, because I really want to know what you think about this video. I found it to be very fascinating and interesting about this person. And eventually we won't have to talk about him anymore. Eventually we'll find another person to talk about. So have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys on Wednesday on the live. And okay.